Why did you embarrass me? Help. So for this week's video, I'm going to do a reading vlog of The Inheritance by Nora Roberts. I am very excited. I started reading some of it, and I'm very enthralled, you can say. I also decided that I'm going to annotate it to keep track of my thoughts while I do this as well. And I have quite a few thoughts so far. I'm not too far in. I'm literally only on chapter 2, but it's getting crazy already. Prologue. 1806. I am a bride. I am a wife. It thrills me to know my life began today, as I am no longer Astrid Granville. And my first note was, for a man, girl? No. I'm very excited. So far I like it, but I'm only on chapter 2. I hope that trajectory continues and I don't end up not liking it for any reason, but I'm very excited to document the process and document my thoughts as I go throughout it. Okay, so the next thing I annotated so far was, "You'll never have him," she says. "Die a bride. And no, he'll come to me. He will come to me, or your blood on my tongue, bride after bride, will join you in death." To my horror, she licked my blood off her finger. I don't know, I think it's gonna be a fun, wild ride. I'm quite excited. I wanted to check in, and I got to read a little bit more, and I just wanted to talk about it. It's been crazy. So that's what we're gonna do. So come along with me. It is 1806. We're in the prologue. It's our wedding day. We're getting married. We're so excited. Shink! You got stabbed. Not only did you get stabbed, you got stabbed multiple times. And this crazy lady is like, "You can't have him. Nobody can have him. I will unalive every single last one of y'all until he is mine." It's insane. Like, why? That's a lot. But I'm here for it. I'm intrigued. Tell me more, please. And then we cut back to the present, okay? And we're in the present, and we're about to get married, okay? And we are coming home. We're stressed out about all of the wedding stuff, all of the decisions we have to make. We're stressed. And then, when we walk into the door, we see clothes all over the floor, and we're like, what? So we keep going, and then we find our fiance in bed with another woman. What? Shocker. Not really. However, the way that she's handling it is weird, and I'm intrigued, and I want to know more. And I'm intrigued because she is not reacting. She is just like in shock, maybe? She's like, "It's fine." And that, why are you like that? I just know if I was in that situation, it would not go as smoothly. I'd probably start throwing things. I'm really interested in what's gonna happen next because I don't know what's happening, but also I know what's happening, and I'm just intrigued. I hope we don't lose the momentum with it. That's my main thing, is sometimes a book will start off really strong and then it will drop off. I'm hoping he found us. So I'm gonna keep reading and annotating because it's been fun. I wanted to check in because I read like a little bit more. I honestly have not gotten as far into this book as I wanted to, simply because I have not been feeling well, so my reading has not been top priority. However, I'm like on chapter 3 or 4. I'm doing a great job. And my opinions have changed. At first, I was a little worried as to why she was so indifferent about the cheating wedding ending thing. However, I changed my mind. Now I think she's a boss bitch and I like her and I'm on her side. So I found out that ex-fiance and the girl, her name is Sonia, they work together, okay? And then the ex-fiance called the job and was like, she went crazy, bro. And when she went in to just simply be like, well, the wedding is off, I changed my mind. They were like, we understand weddings are stressful. And she was like, actually, this mother cheated on me. That's what happened. Crazy. So then he gets mad that she told the bosses and is like, why did you embarrass me? And stuff like that. So he gets even crazier. So he starts harassing her at work and is ruining her projects and letting the air out of her tires and just being awful. So you know what she decides to do? Like the boss queen that she is, she's like, I know there's nothing I can do. The best thing I can do is pick up and try to move on with my life. So she left her company.
Oh.
I mean, like, go off, girl. I don't know what I would do in that situation. I like to think that I would handle it with as much as grace as she did, but I that's a lie. I don't think I would. I would lose my mind. However, now that she has decided to leave her company, she's going to freelance and start her own thing. And to kick that off, she is going to go on a 2-week vacation with her mom and her friends. And I think that that is beautiful, and I am so excited to continue reading before I go to sleep. That is my check-in.
Hi, you're about to meet Barry. Barry is my lazy eye that pops up when I have a migraine. I didn't realize it was so noticeable until editing it back. Say hi, Barry.
A good evening. As you can tell, it is my bedtime. But before I go to bed, I did want to check in because some things have happened and I have some thoughts. I am a little over 100 pages in now, and the plot is semi-predictable. However, I'm still enjoying it. I have also noticed that Miss Nora loves her vocabulary, so there has been quite a few words that I've never seen before in my life, so I had to do a quick Google search and educate myself. But that's been fun. I think where we left off on the last check-in, Sonia just left her job because her ex was harassing her. And then she decided to do her own little freelancing thing. Slay queen. However, she's doing her thing. She's getting her clients. Killing it. This lawyer comes up randomly and he's all like, hey, yo, your dad actually had a twin and that twin left you a house in Maine, of all places. Then she decides to go for it. Go to the house. House is haunted. Lost Bride Manor, they call it. And of course, the first night that she's alone, she starts having nightmares. Weird experiences. I could have sworn I did that. I could have sworn I left it like that. You know, things are getting weird. All the townspeople are all like, it's haunted. And she's all like, nah, I don't believe in ghosts. And they're all like, just wait and see. And that's where we're at. I forgot to mention that we also have met our love interest. His name is Trey. He's tall, dark, and handsome. He's supposedly a sweet baby angel with a dog. Gotta love that. I am enjoying it. I am feeling engulfed in the story. Even though I can kind of tell what's gonna happen, I'm still enjoying it nonetheless. And yeah, there's not much else to report for this check-in as of right now. Things are just starting to heat up. I'm excited to see how things are going to turn out. That's it. Good morning. I hope you slept well. I wanted to check in because I have some different thoughts about the book. I think last time we checked in, we met the love interest and some spooky ghost stuff was starting to happen. I got annoyed a little bit because she kept denying the ghost spooky stuff. To be quite honest with you, she started to irritate me just a little bit because it became very repetitive of the, I must be losing my mind, I don't know what's happening, it's not ghosts. And that started to piss me off because it became like multiple chapters of like something happening and then her being like, that was annoying. However, we got past that, and now our friend is going to live with us in the house because we're afraid to be by ourselves. And our friend, of course, is like spiritual and is all like, yeah, there's ghosts in the house, a lot of ghosts. And they have a spiritual night, and one of the ghosts is like, all right, cool, you like me? Great. Here's a song that I'm going to play for you on the piano at 3 a.m. And they're all like, what? That's crazy. And of course, one of the friends is like, the ghost is sad and is not happy about being dead. Understandable. And then she's like, no, there's a man in my house. And then the friend's like, what do you mean? We would have seen them. And she's like, no, I refuse to believe that there's ghosts in my house because that's terrifying. There's a man in my house. And we're almost 200 pages in, and it feels like a whole lot of nothing is happening. And that's where we're at. That's my thoughts. Whole lot of nothing. I don't know what's gonna happen. I hope something happens, because I still have a little over 200 pages left, and I feel like I'm starting to lose interest just a little bit, because nothing is happening. And it's the same thing over and over again, just a different day. Slightly different. That is my check-in for now. I hope next check-in I also have different thoughts. But right now, we don't. So, cheers. It's really hot. It's really hot. It definitely burned my tongue. Hello. I wanted to check in because I have not had a good check-in in a minute, and I have a lot of thoughts. At this point, I'm over halfway through. I am 238 pages in. And a lot of this book up until now has been a whole lot of nothing. It's been so long that I don't exactly remember the last time that I checked in, so I'm just gonna backtrack a little bit. Bear with me. My neighbor is leaving. Okay, I think he's gone. I think where we last let off is after she got the house and she decided to go to the house. The house is haunted. Big shocker there. However, the house is not only haunted by one ghost, but a many. To backtrack a little bit further,
When Sonia first got to the manor, she met up with the lawyer that helped her out to say thank you, all the finishing touches and everything. And he tells her about this book that's in the library that has the entire history of the Poole family. So, we're in the library, right? We are reading this book, right? And in this book, we are learning about the 7 wives that died. And while we're learning about all of these wives that died, we are having dreams of watching these wives' deaths. And the more that we are here in this house, the more that we are learning about the family history, the more that we want to keep this house. Okay? However, the more that we want this house, the more that the upstairs ghost thing is getting more ticked off. Okay? And that's where we're at. I do enjoy how I was immediately just thrown into the story. It did get very bland there for a second, but hopefully it continues on its trajectory. I do really like her characters. I think they're pretty cool.
Do I? So I? Think what?
I don't know if I like her characters or not yet. I think I want to, but I don't know. I don't really know them yet, if that makes sense. We've done a lot of story building, but not so much character building, so I don't know if I like them or not yet, but that's my check-in. Good morning. I'm almost done with this book. I have a little over 100 pages left. I think today will be a really good day just to sit down and knock it out. The month of August is almost over, and I would really like to put this book in my summer reads, so I'm just gonna knock it out real quick. So for today, we're just gonna read, and I am actually kind of excited. Is he coming? There he is. There's the boy. Hi. I don't have anything else to say. Hey, yo, Siri. Hey, Siri. How do you spell Nosferatu?
Nosferatu. Nosferatu.
Okie dokie. After a couple hours of reading, I decided to make some leftover French dip sandwiches for lunch, and it was delicious. Then I decided to make brownies because why not? Good evening. I finished the book this afternoon and I am utterly underwhelmed. I'm not gonna lie to you, it did piss me off. The ending really irritated me. It was not good. It was really not good. My final thoughts about this book are very all over the place. I'm going to take the rest of the night to gather my thoughts and figure out what I'm actually feeling about the book and do a better check-in tomorrow. In the meantime, I don't know what's happening. In the meantime, good night.
Oh, I'm spilling tea all over me. Oh, there's already a pet hair in my tea. How? Good morning. I hope you slept well. I have collected my thoughts, and I'm going to share them with you. Yesterday, I finished Nora Roberts' The Inheritance, The Bride Trilogy, Book 1. Yeah, I got it right. I feel like we should start with a little recap. So, I think last time we checked in, our friend was going to move in with us. We were starting to have some flirtations with the lover boy Trey, and the house was getting spooky. Now, we are repeatedly waking up at 3 a.m. We are repeatedly having dreams of how these brides were unalived. And we're like, wow, this is crazy. But instead of pretending it doesn't exist, we're like, we're gonna solve this curse and we're gonna put an end to it all, you know? And then our friend moves in with us. We finally get with lover boy Trey, and that's pretty much it. Oh, and then I forgot, at the very, very end, we go through a mirror portal, and we're like, this is part of my inheritance. Now, I know this book was a trilogy, and I know that this first book was just setting everything up, but it was repetitive until the very end. I know more about Sonia's work life than I do about her actual past family life and this curse. This book is a thriller, and it was supposed to be a little spooky scary. It was not. I'm gonna read to you the only part that genuinely spooked me just a little bit. As they played, a shadow moved across the window. Watching, glancing up, Sonia shielded her eyes with the flat of her hand. On impulse, she raised her other hand in a wave and saw the shadow move. She had no doubt in that moment. It waved back. "All right then," she said aloud and nodded okay. When she heard a bang, she looked to the third floor. She watched the windows in the gold room fly open, slam shut. Yoda let out 3 snapping barks. That was the only part that was actually creepy to me. I feel like the best way to describe this book is very generic, kind of bland. Sorry, Mom, don't spite me. As you can tell, I didn't have a whole lot of thoughts because there wasn't a whole lot to think about. I did, however, genuinely enjoy her banter between the characters. I feel like that was good and witty, but the story itself overall didn't do it for me at all. The villain in this entire book, her name was Hester Dobbs, She wasn't actually creepy scary to me. She just, all I could think of, I just pictured her repeatedly as like the Nosferatu meme. Maybe I'll give one of her older books a try and compare it to her newer writing style, but this just was not it for me. I enjoyed reading it simply because of the fact that it made me feel connected to my mom, but that's the only thing that I really enjoyed about it. The book itself was not for me, and that's putting it nicely. With all of that said, thank you for watching. Thank you for making it to the end of this chaotic reading vlog. If you did, I appreciate you, and I hope to see you next time. Bye! Come here, Bubby. Let me capitalize on your cuteness. Come here, girl. Don't wink at me. I can take you, shorty, I can take you there. Here comes the boy, welcome.